Hello, hello, hello. It's me, Stacy, with my Eventful Life event planning company. Listen, I wanted to jump on here today and do another one of my famous musings from the car. Let me roll the windows up so that we don't get any feedback. Hopefully I won't burn because I don't want to turn the air on because then I'll get feedback from that. Anyways, hi guys. I wanted to just kind of jump on here real quick and just talk about the importance of an RSVP. I know you guys hear it all the time, how important it is to RSVP to a wedding or an event, or just a basic, dinner party or otherwise. However, let me give you a perfect example of why this is so important. When you are planning your wedding, every single person that attends the wedding, that's invited to the wedding, whether man, boy, or child, has a price tag. Okay? That price tag starts calculating the moment you say yes to the ring. Okay? The price tag typically doesn't go down. It usually goes up. So you've said yes, you've decided you are going to have a wedding. You now have to decide on the number of guests that you will invite to the said wedding. The number of guests that you decide you're going to invite is completely and totally dependent upon the venue that you select. Okay? I guess that really is kind of the opposite of what I mean. The venue you select is totally dependent upon the number of guests you invite. So what that means is if you invite 100 people, or you plan to invite 100 people, and let me just kind of delve into that really quickly. If you plan to invite 100 people to your wedding, please make sure that these 100 people are very important to you. Okay, these need to be people that you have A, spoken with within the last 6 months, and B, have a good relationship with. So I'm not just talking about people that you've just sent a mercy phone call to, but I mean somebody that you genuinely want to be in the presence of you and your fiance on the day you get married. You want those people to be in prayer for you. You want those people to be the ones that will be less judgy if something goes wrong. Does that make sense? So those 100 people need to be some of the most important people in your lives. Okay, once you make that decision, you need to stick to it. So if you say, in fact, you have to stick to it. So once you said, I am going to invite 100 people to my wedding, these 100 people are very important to me, allow me to the honor of please grace me with your presence, and we would be honored to have you present on that day. The typical wording for your invitation. Anyways, my point is, once you decide on those 100 people, there's no turning back. Okay, and the reason is there are some venues that will charge you per guest, regardless of whether that guest shows up or not. There are caterers that will charge you per the number of guests that you've given them at the beginning of your meeting, and will not make any changes to that count after a certain period of time. So remember those 100 people? Now we're talking about the price that they are going to cost you, that number becomes even more real now. Then get this. I'm a designer as well as a planner, which means that I have a certain amount of inventory that I have to order for your wedding. Okay? With that being said, that inventory has to be ordered at within a certain amount of time. If I can order that inventory on, the very first day that you tell me, you're going to have 100 guests at a very good cost to you, and package my design elements as such, I need to go ahead and place that order for those 100 guests. Okay, if you then call me back once your RSVPs come in, I can't send that stuff back. I cannot send that stuff back. Let me repeat. I cannot send that stuff back. So once you become fully committed to that number, I think you're kind of seeing my point. So if I've got 10 tables, 10 people at each table, and I've ordered 10 vases because you had to have these most exquisite, or not even just exquisite, but you have a certain look that you're going for. It may be exquisite, it may not be, to each his own. The bottom line is that item has to be special ordered, packaged and delivered, and then stored until the day of your wedding. So when you look at these kinds of things, like for another example, napkins, I'm not for nothing, but I am a napkin snob. So if I'm going to go, and pick out a certain napkin with a certain trim and in a certain color, it's going to need to be just that color. So you've given me your colors during our initial consultation, and now I'm on the hunt for all this stuff. So anyways, again, just know that your event takes time to evolve. You may be, like I said, giving, that number. You may be giving your planner that number at the very beginning of the process and thinking about making changes, or waiting until, you find out if grandma can really make it. However, it doesn't work like that. So when you have your number in mind, please remember that number has a price tag. Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in. Again, My Eventful Life. You can find me #MyEventfulLife on everything. I am at My Eventful Life on Instagram, My Eventful Life on Facebook. It's My Eventful Life is the website address. So www.itsmyeventfullife.com. All right, we'll talk again soon, guys. Bye.